going on, YouTube gamers? Bonfire here, bringing you another Insight commentary. And today I'm playing, what else? Titanfall on the Xbox One, where I am playing the game type Pilot Hunter on the map Training Grounds. Enjoying this game type quite a bit. In this gameplay, I go absolutely ham. I go 15-5. I get 9 Titan kills and just dominate the other team. I don't know what they were doing, but it's a great gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. And today I wanted to talk about the recent announcement of the PlayStation 4 virtual reality headset called Project Morpheus. So I want to talk about the announcement, some of my thoughts about the announcement, and then the question of, is there a future of virtual reality headsets, or virtual reality in general, in gaming? So let's dive right into it. For those of you that haven't heard, Sony made the announcement. They officially announced their PlayStation 4 virtual reality headset called Project Morpheus down in San Francisco at the Game Developers Conference. And this announcement is a big announcement, especially with all the buzz around the Oculus Rift the last year and a half or so. And Sony's been working on this for about 3.5 years, 4 years, since 2010. So a long time, even longer than I think the Oculus Rift. And this has been rumored for a while, but we finally have the confirmation. Now, we did get a little bit of information, but you have to remember that the Project Morpheus is a prototype. This isn't the final version. So again, we don't have a release date. We don't have a price for when this is coming to market. But we do have a little bit of information on the prototype. And it did have a 1080p display, had a 100 Hz tracking. It supports full 360 degrees. And it is compatible with the DualShock 4, PlayStation Move, and of course the PlayStation Eye. I definitely think those are all going to work hand in hand, especially depending on what game you're playing with the Project Morpheus. And it also said it works with glasses, which is good for those of you that wear glasses. Now, one of the emphases from the announcement that Sony made was that they see this as a new medium and not an accessory, and I think that's going to be key, and I'll get on that in just a little bit. But they said they do have a few developers on board. They're also working with NASA to create a demo that basically lets the user feel like they're standing on the surface of Mars, which that sounds freaking amazing. But they do have some developers on board. Obviously, they made a smart move and brought this to the Game Developers Conference to get more developers on board. And they said that, I think it was very soon, they didn't give us an exact date, but very soon developers will be able to get their own version of Project Morpheus and start trying it out and developing games for it, which I think is going to be key to its success. Here's what the PlayStation 4 virtual reality headset looks like. I think it looks sleek. It's got that nice white with the black visor and then the blue lights when it's on. It's perfectly in line with the PlayStation 4 color scheme, and I think it looks sleek. So overall, I think this is a big announcement. I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the final product and especially trying this thing out. I mean, if they had a demo somewhere in my town nearby where I could go experience this thing, I would be there in a heartbeat, because virtual reality is something we've all wanted to do and has been around in books, literature, movies, science fiction, all over for the long time. And now it's finally coming to fruition, and that's exciting, and I think you should be excited about that too. Now, I really like the design of it. I think it looks sleek. I mean, if you compare it to the Oculus Rift kind of just looks like a pair of night vision goggles with some straps on it. And not taking anything away from the Oculus Rift, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing as well, but Sony get +1 for Sony on the design. It looks sleek, it looks more modern, and I think that's going to help with the final version and its appeal to the market. Now, obviously, there's a ton of questions left unanswered. The biggest are, when are we going to be able to buy this, and how much will it cost? And to be honest with you guys, I don't anticipate seeing this for about a year and a half. If you compare this to the Kinect, which I hate to make this comparison because they're two completely different, peripherals, but the Kinect was announced in 2009, and it was under the codename Project Natal, or Natal, however you pronounce it. And we're seeing the same thing with Project Morpheus with the virtual reality headset. Now, the Kinect was fully released in November of 2010, I think is what it was. So that's about a year and a half later. I anticipate seeing something very similar with Project Morpheus. So that being said, I don't think we'll see this until I think about November of 2015. That sounds like a good time to release it. Holidays, gives them time to finish up development, get some games rolling for it. And in terms of price, man, I really don't see this thing being less than $300. I know that sounds like a lot, but you have to think about the components this thing's going to have to be able to keep up a really high frame rate, have low latency, and a really high resolution at all times. I think you're going to have some really high-tech parts in there that are going to be pretty expensive. So I think at launch it's going to be very expensive, especially comparative to the console, since the console's only $400. But this is new technology, people, and anytime new technology comes out, it's pretty expensive. Look at 3D TVs. You know, those were super expensive and have died now. But anyways, I digress. So this has left me thinking, is there a future of virtual reality in video games, in the gaming industry? And I know some people aren't excited for virtual reality headsets. They think it's just another, you know, fad or gimmick, and I disagree. I completely disagree. I think this has the potential to change the gaming industry, and for the better. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like I said before, virtual reality and the desire to be fully immersed in an experience has been around for a long time. And one of the reasons we all play video games is to escape reality. We want to go out and be that pirate and sail the seas. We want to go be that astronaut or you know, space dude and go explore and take out some aliens, or be on the battlefield and, you know, take out the enemy, or explore spaceships or underwater cities. All of that stuff, we want to experience those things that we couldn't do in our normal lives, and virtual reality is only going to further let us do that. So I think it's going to catch on, but I think a few things have to fall in place before that happens. And I think the first thing you're going to have is you're going to have developers on board. That's going to be really key to this success, because as we've seen before with the Wii U, and I would even put in motion controls in general in there, when you have lack of developer support and therefore lack of games, it's not going to do very well. So I think you really have to get the developers on board. So kudos for Sony for showing up at the Gamer Developer Conference and showing this off to really try to get these people on board, and hopefully they can get their hands on them sooner rather than later and really start bringing us some of that creativity. And I think indie developers could really have a lot of fun bringing some of their creative ideas to the PlayStation 4 virtual reality headset. Now, that said, there is a caveat to that, to where we're going to have Project Morpheus, the Oculus Rift, and whatever the heck Microsoft's going to do and or working on. So that's 3 different platforms that developers are going to have to develop for if they want to reach all that market, and that's going to be costly. So will the developer want to put in the money for that cost? Will the publishers want to front up the money for that cost? I don't know. We've already heard from Ubisoft, who said they're not going to hop on board and develop games for Project Morpheus until it's proven its success. So there's already some hesitation within the industry. Only time will tell, though. Next, I think you have to have and offer experiences outside of your quote-unquote games. And I emphasize the word experiences. They already said they partnered with NASA to work on a demo to where the user's going to be on Mars and be able to walk around and explore that. That's really cool. I think you have to have more experiences like that, to where you could, you know, experience, you know, long lost islands, or, you know, spaceships or planets and things like that, the moon even, to where you have these experiences so you can appeal to a broader range of people. Think about the kid who's going to play the game on the virtual reality headset, and then the parents who just want to go explore something. I think that'd be freaking sweet, and that's going to be a huge marketing tool for them, I believe. And lastly, I emphasize the word experiences, and I think you have to have games that offer experiences. I mean, to be honest, I don't really want to play Battlefield 4 in a virtual reality headset, though I would, but I would prefer to have an experience to where it's more exploratory. You're exploring things, discovering things. Think of a game like maybe Gone Home, to where there's not really any combat, but you're just exploring something. I think another genre that would absolutely thrive on a virtual reality headset is survival horror. I think about Outlast. That game scares me already, but if I was fully immersed in that first-person shooter, because that game doesn't have combat, you're hiding, you're stealthy, you're exploring this insane asylum that has some really creepy folks in it, that would be insanely scary. It would just up the scare level that much more. So I think you offer experiences like that, less combat heavy, more exploratory heavy, and I think that's going to help push that this is an experience, this is a new medium, and just help virtual reality catch on and thrive. So there you guys have it. There's my thoughts on the big Project Morpheus announcement and the future of virtual reality in gaming. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know with a thumbs up. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe for more gameplay coming your way. Until next time, I'm Bonfire, and I will see you online. Hey guys, don't forget Facebook and Twitter. Hit that button down below.